Oh, hello there. Yes, well, good grief, I'm back. I'm back, as a matter of fact. Yes, in ways that perhaps Gary Glitter, well, almost certainly doesn't dream of, yes. Anyway, back from my little holiday in Bradford. Cold. Dear God, it's been cold. Anyway, yes, it's not really reinforced my view of estate agents. Anyway, I met some very nice people who probably wouldn't end up being friends of Britain First, and was kept awake at night by people that would otherwise be described as proud patriots. Make of that what you will. But there again, I am one of those people that hates my own country, which brings me, of course, neatly to Rupert Lowe MP. As you do, children are being taught to hate Britain in our schools. By me. We need to radically overhaul the curriculum. Okay? Teach boys and girls about our heritage, heroes, history, and our incredible contribution to the world. Celebrate our traditions and values. We should be proud of all of them. Yes, indeedy. And you can have a look at that yourself with all the great comments underneath. Loads of which mention, those great British values of tolerance, whilst at the same time not being, well, enormously tolerant. But that got me thinking, you see, because right now I'm in the middle of, I'm teaching about the Norman conquest, or Norman invasion, or Norman very nice people coming here, sharing European and Western values with us, depending on your viewpoint, because of course this whole thing about teaching history is inherently problematic. Now, I can teach history like Rupert Lowe wants me to teach it, which is about how brilliant everything was, about all the kings that were brilliant and all the brilliant things that happened almost by accident because very, very nice people who were all Anglo-Saxons because of Western culture and Christianity made it. Or I could, give an alternative view of those kind of things, which would be equally valid because that's the nature of history, isn't it? I mean, I do have to teach the Norman conquest according to, the needs of getting my pupil, who's actually 17 by the way, apropos of nothing, but anyway, just to mention it, older student, through history, GCSE. So, got me thinking about the very nature of the Norman conquest, which is whereby a, sort of democratically elected British king, albeit a very posh guy, was overthrown by a bunch of nasty foreign invaders. And, of course, we know they're nasty foreign invaders because we have folk history of that. Think Robin Hood, King John, Magna Carta, et al. And those people that say, oh, isn't it brilliant? Well, the Anglo-Saxon culture, of course, do completely dismiss all of those elements that the Normans brought with them. And it wasn't really great, was it, that they brought with them? Or was it? Were they furnishing us with the basic ideals of a superior economic system in feudalism? Were they bringing the smack of firm order with harrying the north, yeah? Were they bringing us some very, very interesting notions of culture? What with Le Weekend and Cul-de-sac and Ashby de la Zouche? Probably not any of those three, but certainly they gave us various bits and bobs of language. So which is it? Were they brilliant guys that we magically got along with just fine, even though they weren't Anglo-Saxon, or were they nasty invaders that basically put down people and instigated a fairly nasty economic system for very, 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 very many hundreds of years? You pays your money and takes your choice. I could do either of those if you want me to, but I certainly wouldn't be teaching anybody to hate Normans or indeed Anglo-Saxons. I don't think that's entirely possible for me to do. Or is it? I don't know. Answers on a postcard, as ever. Am I doing my job wrong teaching what the government wants? If the government wants me to teach a completely different history, which is basically made up, which is basically what Rupert Lowe et al. Want, then okay, you can pay me to do it. But I do reserve the right to say to my young people, there are different viewpoints because, some of them are old enough, like my 17-year-old, to be able to just about absorb that, even though they are young. All of them voting reform now, of course, according to, their parents or something. I don't know. What do you reckon? What do you reckon? Am I teaching children to hate their country? And if so, how? Because what I'd say to Rupert Lowe, MP, is what proof is there that I'm teaching children to hate their country? I'm teaching children to think about their country, as I think we all should. But Do I love my country less than Rupert Lowe? Do I love my country less than those Muslim people I ended up talking to in Bradford, who certainly had various variety of different views on the country, which in many ways dovetailed neatly with my own? Or should I teach them that they should be doing something else? Yeah, that they should be somehow more like me than they already were? I don't know. I just find this stuff, well, beyond farcical, to be quite honest, because, of course, Rupert Lowe could be making these comments at any stage in the last 100 years, couldn't he? Yeah? It's a game that can never be won, because he can never be satisfied, because the basic problem is that it's me teaching it. Oh dear. So I think what Rupert really wants, of course, is a system whereby only party members are allowed to teach, because historically that definitely ended us up in a very good place, which wasn't necessarily particularly attuned to anything which might be thought of as Anglo-Saxon. But, and again, I'm sure that Rupert knows best. After all, he is better than me, a bit like the Normans were better than the Anglo-Saxons, because they won, because that's the nature of conflict in society, isn't it? Surely the Normans were better, weren't they? Anyway, do have a glorious, glorious Thursday. It might actually be above freezing quite soon. Yeah.